Hello, everyone. My name is Anthony D'Angelo, and I'm a professor of public relations at Syracuse University's Newhouse School in the United States. I'm thrilled to play even a small part in global brand convergence and very much look forward to this year's program. Our speaker is Ted Lim. Ted has a spectacular global presence in the field of marketing and advertising and is one of Asia's most respected creative leaders. He's an award-winning global expert and sought after creative and intellectual mind. He has worked on some of the biggest campaigns in Asia, and he served as the Cannes Lions jury president. His campaigns have transformed the marketing industry, and Ted is generous with his time and talents as he travels and consults throughout the world. After working in senior leadership positions for some of the largest agencies and with some of the largest corporations as clients for whom he has won many awards, he now works as an independent consultant with startups and agencies throughout the world. Ted is a sought-after speaker and thought leader, and we are incredibly fortunate to have him with us today. Ted's presentation is titled, "This Has Nothing and Everything to Do with AI." He will share with us what he learned from Steve Jobs, what we are learning about AI, and why the next decade will be different and the same. I'm looking forward to learning from Ted, and we're so fortunate to have him here with us today. It is with great pleasure that I introduce Ted Lim. Welcome.
Good morning. I'm not a computer scientist or an expert on artificial intelligence. I'm a creative consultant who has been fortunate to have worked with people smarter than myself. This morning, I would like to share with you what I learned from Steve Jobs about creative intelligence, what we are learning about artificial intelligence, and why the next decade, in my opinion, will be different and the same: the past, the present, and the future. The year was 2005, prehistoric times for some of us. I took a flight from Kuala Lumpur to London to pick up my country's first D&AD yellow pencil. Halfway through the award presentation, the host invited a guest on stage. The guest, in trademark black sweater and blue jeans, needed no introduction. Steve Jobs told us a short story that evening that changed his life and the lives of many of the people in that room that night, mine included. Everyone thinks Apple is a tech company, he said. Well, not exactly. Jobs recalled his days in university, where he observed how students loved their music so much, they would carry their stereos the size of bazookas on their shoulders wherever they went. These humongous stereos had like 100 buttons to play, pause, stop, record, fast forward, rewind the music cassettes. He later shared this observation with the engineers at Apple and asked them to build a portable music machine that would allow people to bring their music with them everywhere. Hopefully, a device small enough to fit in one's pocket with no more than one button. That device was the iPod. Technology made this little marvel possible, but it was Jobs' observation, his insight into human nature, and his imagination that gave the engineers the idea to make the iPod. An intuitive idea brought to life using technology. The creation of the iPod was an early day example of what we call today creative intelligence. Fast forward to present day. ChatGPT was launched just a year ago, but its growth has been phenomenal. It garnered over 100 million users in less time than Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Netflix. Apart from ChatGPT, There's also Midjourney and other generative AI tools that can do many of the things we do better, faster, and more cheaply. I tried using Midjourney, and this was the outcome of my prompt for a cat with 9 tails in a forest. I also prompted for images of Lionel Messi playing badminton. And this cover for Cosmo magazine was created using AI in just 20 seconds, which got me thinking, is there anything generative AI cannot do? Some of you are probably asking, like all things that are too good to be true, is generative AI even legal? I'm not a lawyer, and knowing how litigious this audience is, I'll quote a few articles. Machine learning models appear sophisticated, but they're basically just complex autocomplete machines that repackage the work of others as if it was something new. Another article, Stable Diffusion is trained using a compressed file of 100,000 gigs of images scraped from the internet. Stable Diffusion makes it easy to knock off a particular artist's style. With a simple prompt, users can generate any number of images that closely resembles any prominent visual creator's signature visual language. And here's a legal opinion from an IP lawyer. A derivative work is a work based on or derived from one or more already existing work. AIs are trained by scraping large portions of the internet of copyrighted work. If it sounds like copyright infringement, well, it probably is. Hundreds of publications have installed blockers to prevent their material from being scraped. Elon Musk has threatened to sue Microsoft over using Twitter data for its AI. And Microsoft, in turn, has asked courts to throw out the lawsuits. The jury is still out on whether generative AI is legal, so I would urge you to proceed with caution. Like all revolutions that come at a cost, the AI revolution is no different. Our thinking is formed from the books we read, the videos we watch, the stuff we find on the internet, the opinions of people we meet, and discussions with people who are smarter than ourselves. Now, we can now do away with all this hard work and take the easy way out. Just ask ChatGPT, and we will know everything we want to know in a matter of seconds. But how do we broaden our minds if our source of information is reduced to a single source? There will be no debate or difference of opinion if there is only one opinion. To quote, this software may well reduce writing, communication, and thinking abilities dramatically in future generations. A third of universities will go broke in the next 5 years. According to the World Economic Forum's Future of Jobs Report 2023, 23% of all jobs globally will change in the next 5 years. We will see 69 million new jobs created and 83 million current jobs will be eliminated. That's a decrease of 14 million jobs. We have already witnessed a slew of layoffs at some of the biggest names in tech this year. These are January numbers. IBM has halted hiring for 7,800 jobs that could be replaced by AI. And here are the 10 roles that AI is likely to replace, according to Business Insider. So pencil pushers, paper shufflers, number crunchers are on their way out. Tech workers like coders and data analysts will not be spared. Even creative workers like writers, designers, animators, composers, they will be replaced to some extent by artificial intelligence. On the flip side, here are the top 10 skills that will thrive in the age of AI, according to the World Economic Forum. This cartoon strip sums it well. Every business will be looking for an AI prompt engineer. Which brings us to the big question. Are we humans racing to replace the human race? There's no lack of suitors when there's money to be made. Everyone wants a piece of the action. No one wants to be left behind. However, there are things we cannot trust AI with, as this ER doctor found out. And recently, Geoffrey Hinton, the godfather of AI, he quit his job at Google and warned the world of the dangers of AI and called for global regulation. Elon Musk and the AI industry shared their concerns, and the UK and US governments have started to intervene in the development of AI. To quote the president of a consumer rights group, at this point, big tech companies need to be saved from themselves. The companies and their top AI developers are well aware of the risks posed by generative AI, but they are in a competitive arms race, and each believes themselves unable to slow down. So where do we go from here? The fact is, AI isn't going away anytime soon, as long as there is money to be made. We cannot ignore it, and it is here to stay. The fact that the work produced by AI is derived from existing work means AI cannot produce something if that something or parts of that something doesn't already exist. For instance, AI cannot produce a piece of work in the style of Picasso if the artist had not been born or had not painted his masterpieces. AI can do the parts for sure, whether it's writing, illustration, image manipulation, music, videos, better and certainly faster than most people. But someone has to come up with an original idea to make those parts useful. For instance, AI can scrape the internet for songs, and it will find millions. But someone has to come up with the idea to string the songs together to make a musical. Someone who is curious and observant, insightful and intelligent, imaginative and creative. Someone who loves music and art, someone who laughs and cries, someone with that human quality called emotion, and yes, creative intelligence. Emotion and creative intelligence separate human from artificial intelligence. This is the X factor that moves people and business. Powered by technology, some of the most successful brands today were born of insight, imagination, and creative intelligence. Like Apple, each has revolutionized the way the human need for communication, accommodation, transportation, entertainment, and sustenance is served. The next decade will be different for sure. AI will replace many of the functions currently performed by humans and do them better and faster. But the next decade will also be the same. Creative intelligence and original thinking, inspired by insight, imagination, and emotion, will continue to lead the way forward. That said, I could be wrong. So, like all self-doubting humans, I asked artificial intelligence. This is ChatGPT's answer. Just look at the highlighted parts and the number of mentions of creative thinking, creative problem solving, creative exploration, creative abilities, and so on and so forth. I guess we humans get it right sometimes. I leave you with this exchange between father and son that I found online. So maybe the game isn't over yet for us humans. I'm Ted Lim. Thank you for joining me at the Global Brand Convergence.